So I feel like it's been long enough since Castlevania Nocturne Season 2 released. Let's get into Drolta. So I did a couple of TikToks and YouTube videos about Miss Drolta a year ago. And she was like the main reason why I watched the show, I'm gonna be honest. And I understand that she was not depicted as the main villain or villainess in season 1, but in my mind, she was the main villainess. So you can imagine my surprise going into season 2, not expecting much. And I remember jokingly saying, they gotta bring her back. They've gotta bring her back. There's no way they're not gonna bring her back. Jokingly, right? Because we all saw Alucard reduce her to ashes. So, you know, pardon me for being a little delusional. So, that being said, season 2 kicks off, and I think episode 2, Drolta comes back. And of course, the Forge Master brought her back. I guess he turned her into a night creature. Wasn't sure what to expect from the reveal, and I mean, she got turned into a night creature. I don't know what the odds of her coming back looking sickening were, but she hit the jackpot because Mama came out head to toe looking sickening. I didn't think she could out sickening her transformation in season 1, you know, when she was like all succubus tease. But yeah, she out cuntied. And you know, I'm like, okay, they brought her back, so what are we gonna do now? And I'm not sure what it was like for Miss Ezrabet, you know, before Drolta died, but it just didn't seem like she was getting anything done or taken care of. Drolta, the moment she came back, took charge, started asking questions. I thought it was hilarious when she was asking kind of like what the Forge Master was doing this entire time, like, bro, like, what's going on? The questions that Ezrabet should have been asking, but, you know, whatever. That being said, again, still wasn't sure what direction they were going to go with Drolta, and then we were treated to her backstory, and it looks like she was a priestess for Sekhmet at a temple in Egypt, like thousands of years prior to the main storyline. And you know, I thought it was pretty cool because we got to see her human side, and it looked like she was, prior to turning, was super compassionate, kind. You know, obviously Sekhmet was the goddess of healing and war, and it looks like before she turned, she was more focusing on healing, you know, and just being an overall good person. But obviously that's not who she is in present day, and we find out that her either it's a coven of priestesses, either the village got attacked and pillaged by vampires, and she ended up praying to the goddess Sekhmet to help her get stronger. And I guess she took the vampire that was attacking her as that sign that, you know what, maybe I should turn into a vampire. So she ends up drinking his blood, and that's how she ends up converting. What's crazy is I'm like talking about all this, and I forgot to say at the beginning of the video that oh yeah, there's gonna be spoilers, so my bad. That being said, you guys, obviously, if you guys are listening to me do this for the last 3 to 4 minutes, clearly you're here to get spoiled. You know, that being said, so she ends up transitioning to being a vampire, and she you know, slowly but surely becomes that relentless, ruthless vampire queen that we know her to be. It looks like she was looking for particular people to be the good vessel, I guess, for Sekhmet, and she ended up finding that in Ezrabet. Now, what I will say, and I said this last year, I didn't really care for Ezrabet's design when she like transformed, you know, under the eclipse, and I really didn't like her base design either. But Ezrabet as a human, oh, she looks good. Long flowing red hair, bone structure, beautiful woman. I feel like they should have kept that look for her because she never seemed to hit her mark afterwards. Anyways, Drolta finds, you know, Ezrabet, and, you know, I'm so glad they gave us this backstory with her, because I really felt like it was a bit odd for a character as sickening as she to be, you know, so hell-bent on serving Ezrabet when Ezrabet is so tired. Like, in the big grand scheme of things, like, she just, girl, like, you are the main character, what's going on? So it was really cool to see, okay, Drolta actually had her reasons, and we ended up finding that like in the big kind of like hurrah of the season when you know, Ezrabet takes on the full essence of Sekhmet, and, you know, she still gets bodied by Richter. Speaking of Richter, he has hands, like, he'd be throwing punches and they look like they hurt. We'll get on him on a different video. But getting back to Drolta, so she ends up betraying Ezrerbet, and to my surprise, because I was not expecting her to betray her. You know, she's been kind of riding this Ezrerbet vampire messiah train for the last like 15 plus episodes. Was not expecting for there to be a shift, but there was. And like Ezrerbet, she left me gagged because I was gagged. I was confused. I was like, oh, you're betraying her now. Okay, cool. So she ends up, letting Ezrerbet know that you're nothing. I've been just kind of sitting back, setting this all up so that I can take on Sekhmet's powers. And that's exactly what she does. She absorbs all of what's left of Sekhmet, and then she trosses Ezrerbet off like the trash that she is. So my only complaint so far is, she gets another transformation, and it's on point. It's deserving of like a final boss, right? But we only got like 20 minutes to really, I guess, get used to the new form and everything like that. And I know she's still a villain, so, and obviously I think the season was condensed into like 8 to 10 episodes, so obviously we're not going to be able to, have like a Dragon Ball Z style 20 episodes of a fight. But I just wish we had more time with her. And I did feel a little bad for her towards the end, because I think she truly believed she was doing what Sekhmet wanted. Clearly there was some miscommunications on what Sekhmet wanted overall, and Drolta she seemed kind of like someone, almost like they were in a cult where they just were so religiously devout that they were blinded by everything else. So it's unfortunate that Drolta did not get that piece that she wanted. I understand she's the villain, we shouldn't be rooting for her, and she should not have a bad ending, but can't help but to root for her and want her to have the things that she deserves. So that's the only thing that I can think of that was really like, oh man, that sucks. But Drolta, there has to be someone. Me and my good friend talk about this show like often, and we came to the conclusion that there has to be a black, gay, millennial, and or non-binary, somebody of the community behind the concept of Drolta. There's just no way I cannot expect me to believe that there's anyone other than that behind her, between the looks, between that mouth of hers, that sass, that quick wittiness. There's got to be a black gay or someone of the LGBTQ community umbrella adjacent behind the scenes, making sure that she gets all her things. So yeah, thought I would do this video. I know I've kind of disappeared, and I do that a lot, but there's just no way I couldn't do a follow-up to season 1, and I'm so shook that she even got brought back. And I think that every second that we had with her on screen was just awesome. And I doubt she's gonna come back for season 3. That's if we even get a season 3. Like, this season was good, but I don't know. Hoping for the best, but not gonna hold out too long for that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys feel like we got enough of Drolta? Do you think that she was justified? What are some of the one-liners that are sticking to your head? I know for me and my good friend that I talked to about this, that scene when she first came out after being turned into a night creature, and she said, Forge Master, this was such a delight, but make no mistake, I serve only one mistress. Whatever that line was, it's etched into my brain, because like, girl, he pulled you from the pits of hell, and you just oozing cunt and unbotheredness. It's just I'm telling you, whoever was behind this was a black gay. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. As always, I'm talking all things anime. Again, I take breaks sometimes, but I would like to get back into doing just discussion videos, plain and simple. I really don't want to spend too much time editing, and that gets a little overwhelming. And I understand, if you're being a content creator, you have to edit and spend countless hours making sure things are perfect. But honestly, I just want to put out raw content and make little tweaks as I go. But I just want to have some fun. I don't want to have to worry about monetization and being popular and getting a ton of likes. So if you guys like it, follow me. I'm on socials. I'm on multiple socials, but you guys can find me on Thickboy Gohan on Instagram. You guys can find me on my personal, which is Devin T. Howard. And then I have another YouTube channel and Instagram for those of you guys who like hobbies, so like Beyblade. This one's specifically towards the Beyblade first generation, plastic generation, but that page is called White Tiger Blader X, and that's on Instagram, YouTube, and I will be making a Twitter for that account sometime this week. So yeah, follow me, and until next time, you guys have a great week.